Hi, I'm Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. On today's show, it's Texas country music star Pat Green. Recording since 1995, Pat has released 10 studio albums and achieved 15 chart hits on the Billboard Country charts. Writing and recording with Willie Nelson is among Pat's many career highlights. And in 2008, he released a book called Pat Green's Dance Hall and Dreamers, which includes photos that he took on the road. In 2015, Pat released his first CD of original music in 6 years. It's called Home, and debuted at number 5 on the country charts and features guest appearances by Lyle Lovett and Sheryl Crow. Pat joins us today to perform music from the new CD, and he'll also be talking about his 21 years on the road. I'm Larry London, and this is Border Crossings. Hi, it's Border Crossings. My name is Larry London, and we welcome you to Music Alley and to our program today. Pat Green has been on the road for a number of years, putting out a number of albums, 10 albums to be exact, 15 chart singles, and he is a Grammy-nominated country musician who's with us today. We welcome Pat Green to D.C.
Nominated means I lost.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Because if you win, you announce that you win.
But some people are never invited to the party.
Yeah, I know. I'm a 3-time top 4.
Well, we welcome you to D.C., Pat.
Thanks. Good to be here.
It's great to have you here. The new album is called Home.
Yes, it is.
And I guess what I was told was you've come full circle. So what does that mean? How does this album mean you've come full circle?
It means that I'm not on a record label.
Oh, is that what it means?
No, we are. But no, really, I mean, we spent the bulk of our years on RCA and Universal, between those two record labels. And, you just, after 20 years in the business, you kind of get tired of people telling you how to make your own music. So, I guess we've come full circle. We're back to the place where we started, where I get complete control.
And you also said this is the best album you've done.
Well, of all of them, it's one of them.
One of 10 of the best albums.
No, I love this album. I do. We got to make it with our band, and without anybody looking over our shoulder, and nobody telling me what songs to sing or how to write the songs I was writing. And I don't know. It feels just a different level of kind of freedom.
Mm-hmm. Now, for an artist who has been in the format country music for as long as you have, and with 10 albums, country's gone through many different changes.
Sure it has.
Over the years. And a few years back, it was the format that everyone was listening to and turning to.
No doubt.
So through the rides and through the ups and downs and whatnot, I mean, country music today, where do you find yourself as far as a lane goes? I mean,
I feel like when we got in, we were at the tail end of Garth Brooks, and it was, country was so bombastic, and everybody was catching stuff on fire and breaking stuff, and so when we came in, we were just singing songs, that kind of boiled up from our souls, and so I don't know if right or wrong, I don't know, but that seemed to be what the country was wanting at the time, was something a little more story oriented, and so we kind of were. It was like perfect timing for us, and we walked in and had all these fun hits and things, but and now I think it's kind of gone back to that, where it's just this, explosions and fireworks and giant shows, and I don't know. I don't think it makes it worse or better or anything else. It's just I feel like we had our timing perfect.
Mm-hmm. And what were you listening to that inspired you to get into music and to choose country music?
I think collectively we all listen to about, within the, as much as you can, listen to about the same things. Springsteen and, Bob Schneider, great, artists from down in Austin and, where we were all living. And, I think of Lucinda Williams. I think of, Amy Mann. I think there's so many people I could list, but, I'm not saying we were walking around in Birkenstocks and growing our hair out long, but it was a more organic time, is what I will say.
And you're a Texas boy,
born and raised. Indeed, yes.
And still have a home back in Texas? Or?
I still live there, yeah. I don't think I've ever lived anywhere else, but I don't think. I mean, I know I haven't. I'm sorry.
There was that time.
Hold on. There was this 2 nights in Tijuana, but I don't think I took residence.
Well, we've got Pat Green in our studios on the road for the new album, Home. If you wouldn't mind doing a song, we'd love to have you guys do some live music for us.
See if we can't pull one out. didn't mean that. I was kidding. Baby, just a little bit tired of the city. The billboards and BS got her down. Seem like you need a little hill country, a little back road striping, a little bit of old top down. Yeah, and everybody gotta get away sometime. Forget about yourself for a while. Seem to me that all you need, ragtop car and ride with me, okay? It's alright, just might get a little high tonight, okay? I'm alright, carry on. Walt Wilkins lives back in Nashville. You know his eyes are seen in mine. Why don't you jump in Jim T's caddy? Come down to Austin and drink with me a while. And everybody gotta get away sometime. Forget about yourself for a while. We'll go down to El Arroyo, have tacos and beer, baby, let ourselves go, it's okay. Alright, just might try to get it right tonight, I'm okay. I'm alright, carry on. I will make sure that you got your trouble. And I will make sure that you work too hard. Ain't nobody that don't get tired of watching troubles pile up big in your own backyard. And everybody gotta get away sometime. Forget about yourself for a while. You live your whole life up there on that shelf, no one to blame but your own dang self. It's okay, it's alright. Heaven only knows what's gonna happen tonight. I'm okay, I'm alright. I'm okay, baby, I'm alright. I'm okay, alright. Carry on. Nice catch, boys.
All right, Pat Green in our studios. The album is Home. What was the name of that song?
That was called Carry On. I'm sorry, yeah. And we almost got it right.
And so what's the inspiration for the song?
Man, I was in Nashville for the first time on a writing session. I didn't know how to write songs, and at the time, I mean, I was learning, you know. And I was with this cat named Walt Wilkins, and we were about to have breakfast, and this big, giant, like 30-foot long Cadillac with the top down, it was like metallic blue Cadillac, starts pulling around the corner. It felt like it took like 20 minutes for the car to make the corner. And there was this big blonde hair flowing out the back, and I was like, holy smokes, what in the world? I was like, I just can't believe this, you know, beautiful blonde hair, blondes, you know, I'm driving this, you know, it's like it's a boss hog of caddies, right? And it should have had horns on the front of it, for crying out loud. And then it was a dude, you know, it was one of those, you know, and my friend Walt goes, hey, that's Jim T. And I go, oh, so you know this guy who's posing as a woman. And anyway, so I was like, that's a great line to start the song with, and that's how we got there.
Now, is that one of the more interesting influences for songwriting?
Oh, Walt Wilkins, without a doubt, is the guy who took me from novice to, amateur.
And you wrote 7 songs? You wrote 7 songs on the new album?
Yeah, usually that's about the right number for me. I don't want, the people that get all, bogged down and I got to write every song on the record, it bothers me. Because I think people don't want to listen to me that much anyway.
Yeah.
Just ask my wife.
And I'm sure that all the songs have different stories or different, things that
absolutely
help to create those different songs. Is there a message on this album? I mean, with a big statement called Home.
Well, I think Home was really just more a part of the idea that, we wanted to do it ourselves, and we wanted to do it locally, homegrown, real live musicians right here all the time.
Now, the CD has Lyle Lovett on it. It has Sheryl Crow. Did they actually come into studio and actually work with you?
Lyle did, yeah, and I've known Lyle for a long time, and he's just a, super guy, one of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. Sheryl, on the other hand, we couldn't make our schedules work out, so she had to do it on her own. But I sure think she did a fantastic job. And you can purchase the record to find out.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so, of all the the people in the country business, is there anyone who you'd like to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Dolly Parton, just for the hug.
A little old school there.
No, she's just such a sweet gal. I met her once in a restaurant in Nashville, and she just was real pleasant, bubbly. Yeah, so.
Well, Pat Green is with us today, and you've got 2 band members. Why don't we introduce the guys?
Yeah, sure. On my left-hand side, to your right on the radio dial here, is Brett Danaher. He's been in the band since I can remember. He hasn't quit yet, which is nice. And then on my right-hand side is, and he's from Georgetown, Texas, forgive me. He's been the Guitar Player of the Year and Rolling Stone Magazine nominee, but he didn't win. And on my right-hand side is Michael Ramos from Austin, Texas. Georgetown is just a suburb of Austin. It's just the northern side. But Michael Ramos has played in the bands with John Mellencamp, Sheryl Crow himself. He gets around, and anyway, it's a real pleasure to have him in the band, and he's been in for almost
3 and a half
3 years. So we'll call it 10.
Perfect. Feels like 10.
Everyone says that.
Well, I love Austin. I played golf at Barton Creek, so I love Austin. It's a beautiful place, beautiful area for country music, and it's a very, very nice place. And they also have the annual music conference there in Austin.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You play that often? Or
South by, and we've played ACL. We've played every imaginable show by now.
And you do festivals, too.
We'll do anything.
You'll do anything?
Yes, if you spell my name right, yeah.
And how about touring the world? Have you played in many international countries?
Sure. not on the bigger, like when we were on tour with Kenny Chesney and Keith Urban and Dave Matthews and those bands, we stayed on stateside. But certainly we've played all over Amsterdam, Germany, and England, Ireland, blah, blah, blah. blah, blah.
And do you do USO shows, or have you done
we haven't done. We've been asked, but when it was wartime and they asked, it was the time when my wife was pregnant, and she just asked politely that I
stay home.
So at least, you never know. And it wasn't a fearful thing for me, but out of respect, my brother was over there. And,
right. But your dad was in the military.
My dad was military too. That was back during Vietnam. But out of respect for my wife and with the new baby,
And your dad was also an actor. So has this always been music for
He's
you?
He's a bad actor.
Well,
if you're listening, Pop, I'm sorry about that.
Was there any possibility of you thinking about acting when you were growing up?
No.
It's always been music.
I've always, gravitated towards music. My dad, I say he was a bad actor. He was not a bad actor. He's a great actor. And that was really one of the things that kind of put me into music was that I got to watch him stand in front of an audience on the stage and control it. With his, with what was coming out of his mouth, with the ideas that were inside of him coming out. I was just like, man, that's a fantastic thing. That's what I want to do.
Well, Pat Green is our guest today on Border Crossings, if you're just joining us. And we're going to talk to Pat about meeting a president and performing for a president in just a couple of minutes. But first, if you wouldn't mind doing a song
for us.
Another
one. This is a song that I didn't write. This is by Zane Williams, who I think is one of the most amazing songwriters around. And anyway, I heard this song. I was in a parking lot, and I literally, immediately got shivers down my arms and tears, and it was all about, well, you'll get the message. But anyway, he's one of my favorites. By the time I made it home, you were already in bed, chubby cheek pressed to the pillow by a bedtime book you'd read. And I noticed that you looked older than you did yesterday. Been growing up while I was away. Made a pile of leaves in the front yard. I guess it's already fall. By the look of them pictures your mama took, the two of you had a ball. And it made me glad but a little sad to see those games you play. I missed a lot of smiles while I was away. For every dollar I earn, there's a lesson you learn without me there. For every day I'm on the go, I'm praying that you know that your daddy cares. Know the hardest part about working hard ain't the bills I gotta pay. It's everything that I missed while I was away. And I found your note in the kitchen. It's a real work of art. A stick man holding my stick hand with daddy written in a heart. And it got me good, 'cause I understood what you meant to say. You've been missing me too while I was away. For every dollar I earn, there's a lesson you learn without me there. For every day I'm on the go, I'm praying that you know that your daddy cared. Know the hardest part about working hard ain't the bills I gotta pay. It's everything that I miss while I was away. Know the hardest part about working hard ain't the bills I gotta pay. It's everything that I missed while I was away.
Beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
Beautiful song. What's it called?
While I Was Away.
While I Was Away.
Yeah, it's obviously there's a military side. There's everybody who kind of firemen, oil rig workers. I mean, people that just have to leave for gobs and gobs of time. I mean, we think about, in 20 years we've done 3,000 shows, right? And those aren't in my backyard. So I've from the time that my daughter was born, she was born in June, and I was on tour at the time with Kenny Chesney, and I didn't see her from then until like the middle of September, and so I missed some really great times. But everybody has to go through that. I mean, it's a job like anything else.
Right. Is that the hardest part of
Oh,
what
without
you
a
do, is
doubt.
being
Yeah,
away
I tell
from the
people,
family?
you don't pay me to sing. You pay me to sit in a hotel room by myself.
Wow. Interesting perspective.
Yeah.
And all three of you guys have kids, so it's tough
Yeah.
to be away. How long? I mean, some artists say I won't be away for longer than 2 weeks at a time. Do you have a kind of a rule like that?
Well, I mean, we did back in the, once that all kind of went down, and we didn't do more than 2 or 3 weeks at a time. But now we just weekend warriors,
Right.
Yeah. If we can't fly there and be home on Sunday, we're not going.
Now, you had mentioned, that you've performed quite a bit for 3,000 shows and stuff. The president. You performed for President Bush.
Oh yeah, sure. Several times, but he did
Texas boy.
Yeah, he's a Texas guy, and he used my music a lot during his campaigning and throughout his terms. But yeah, we were doing a thing for his Wounded Warriors, and the guys. I was already in. I grew up in Waco, which is right beside Crawford, where he has his ranch. And anyway, so we were having a big show for him and the Wounded Warriors, and the guys were coming in from Austin, and because of the traffic with the event and everything going on, the timing was pretty delicate, and the guys got stuck in the traffic and all the hubbub of the you got to pat you down and check your guitar and all that stuff. And so I got to do a few songs by myself, but which is really awkward because I'm really a bad guitar player. That's just accurate. That's not being self-deprecating. I mean, it's like I'm a poor, compared to these guys, I'm a poor musician, but.
Did he talk to you? Did the president?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Likes your music?
Met many times, yeah.
And so
he's a very gracious man. I have tremendous amount of respect for that guy. And that for anybody that's going to be president, I mean, that's a tough job. And
yes.
To remain yourself is
right.
difficult, yeah.
Especially with the country and the current state that it's in.
I mean,
difficult times.
Yeah, I'm just a sorry old musician, and people judge me for what I do, and I'm like, can't imagine being number one honcho, I don't care what you do. That's a tough job with everybody looking at you.
Now, on your highlight list of your career, I'm sure that playing for President Bush was right up there.
Yeah.
Other highlights that you've had, if you'd had to rate the top three biggest moments, nominated for your first Grammy, or
those were, the Grammys were fun, a lot of fun. Avril Lavigne had a run-in with Brett one time. That was fun. Madison Square Garden sticks out. Staples Center in L.A.
Wow.
I think of things in terms of venues mostly. I mean, just getting to play. What can you think of? What else did we do? Red Rocks was great. Opening for Springsteen was great.
Wow. It's been a great ride.
Yeah, man. No doubt. We sold several million albums, and I haven't ever had a job. Those are the highlights.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Was there an aha moment that you said, I got it, I made it, I've arrived?
Man, I tell you, when we were filming the Carry On video in Dallas, and there was 35,000 people out in front of us, I was like, okay, we're going to get to do this for a long time.
And you've been doing it a long time, 10 albums in, and if you wouldn't mind doing another song.
Yeah, we will. Let's just do one chorus at the end, not both.
Okay.
Yes, kind of, because I'm looking at your clock, and we're running late.
Oh, that's all right. We're enjoying talking
This
to
song
you.
is Wave on Wave. Wrote this with my buddy Justin Pollard and David Newhouse. Mile upon mile, got no direction. We're all playing the same game. We're all looking for redemption. Just afraid to say the name. So got up now and pretending what we're seeking is the truth. Just looking for a happy ending. All I'm looking for is you. And it came upon me wave on wave. You're the reason I'm still here, yeah. Am I the one you were sent to see? And it came upon me wave on wave. Wanted out into the water. The thought that I might drown. Don't know what I was after, babe. Just know I was going down. That's when she found me. I'm not afraid anymore. know I always had you, babe. Waiting for you to find what you were looking for. You came upon me way, long way. You're the reason I'm still here, yeah. Am I the one you were sent to see? You came upon me way, long way. Way long way. Way long way. You came upon me way, long way. You're the reason I'm still here, yeah. Am I the one you were sent to see? Came upon me way, long way. Take it home, baby. Red Danaher and Uncle Ramos for your listening pleasure out there, folks. Yeah.
That'll
way that
work.
goes?
Yeah, that sounded great. Pat
That was a
Green.
Grammy loser, right?
That- Now, when you write your songs, do you ever rely on your daughter's opinion? Do you go and say, "What do you think of this one?"
Well, my daughter's not the best music critic. She's, and I'm certainly not. I don't want to take it. But she's like, Taylor Swift, Katy Perry.
Oh, okay.
Still, so Daddy's music really doesn't resonate
Now,
that
is
much.
she a country fan or no?
She likes what I do. And she likes Taylor Swift. So, I guess if that makes her a country fan. then-
And what are your thoughts as somebody who's been doing this for 11 years now, I guess, since 95? You put out the first record.
Well, that's 20 years.
I'm sorry,
exactly 20 years.
20 years. 20 years.
Well, last December was 20 years.
20 years. So you've been doing this for so long. It was before American Idol and X Factor
Yeah,
and all those
for
shows.
sure. But
like
they did
Cassidy
play our
Pulse and-
songs on American Idol.
Yes.
A couple of times. And The Voice, I think.
And so what do you think about those shows?
More power to you. I mean, this is a very difficult business to get into. And whatever avenue or path you take to get into it, I think is fantastic. Especially if you can get to the highest level and get in front of millions of people and get to do the things that we've gotten to do. More power to you. I mean, it wasn't available to me, but I'm not bitter about that.
Okay, good. Good. No, not at all. What's the biggest change in the 20 years you've been doing this?
I'm older. I've got hair on my shoulders. No, I don't really think of it that way.
Okay.
I don't. It doesn't. I mean, I see more power to you. I mean, this world is incredibly diverse and it's always moving and it's changing and express and celebrate the diversity that comes in music and that comes in life, and I think you're going to be fine.
Right. The technology is different. and
Oh,
so-
certainly. Now the technologies. Yeah, the music industry is. I mean, we used to sell records and CDs and tapes, and now it's just you click on a button, you buy one
file.
song.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it really doesn't. I don't think it does any good to put out 10-song records anymore, unless you just want to, unless you got a lot to say.
Right.
Yeah, because they're not buying. I mean, people just. I can't remember the last CD I bought. Can you? No, Brady. That's where you lean
That's
into
your cue.
That's where you lean into the microphone. How about you, Michael? Do you remember the last CD you bought?
No.
See, and we're lifelong musician types,
Right, right,
and
right.
I can't think of it. I just.
But it's kind of
one
evolution,
song.
right? I mean,
You
there
don't remember. You're still.
No, I think the last thing I bought on CD was something that was old that wasn't on iTunes.
I bought it before then.
But there was a time when they sold
the second
singles.
time you bought the record, too,
A-side,
probably.
B-side,
Yeah,
single.
it was used.
So now we've gone back to buying one song at a time.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
singles back in the day.
I remember my first 45 that I bought. It was "Forever in Blue Jeans" by Neil Diamond.
And you admitted that to the worldwide audience.
Just now.
Well, thank you, Pat Green. Now, speaking of
Thanks.
technology, people want to reach you on social media. How do they go about doing
Sure, of course, on Facebook and Twitter and whatever the universe is onto Insta something.
The address would be
patgreen.com for the website. But Pat Green, just look at Pat Green anywhere.
Green.
It'll all pop
Well,
up.
thank you guys for coming on the show today.
Thanks for
It's been a
having us.
pleasure
Really
to have
appreciate
you
your
here,
time.
to meet you. The album is Home. It's Pat Green. He's on tour right now for his album. And I'm Larry London. This is Border Crossings.